Okay. Yes, now it is in progress. So thank you very much for joining. Okay, let me keep on adding. With this second workshop, in the first workshop, we just had a basic idea and some guidelines I showed of the UGC. Today, in continuation to that workshop, we are meeting again. And purpose here is to understand that how, if when we want to launch a course based on SWAYAM platform or going online, and then what are the modalities, what are the steps, and some clarifications who can do and how it can be done. And I'm highly grateful and very happy to have all of you here. And two of my best friends, engineer Nageshwar Nath ji. He is joint director in CEC, which is very means a body of eminence of the Government of India, UGC. And my good friend Ashish Avadia from Indira Gandhi National Open University. We go a very long way. In fact, I think Ashish, it was in 2012, 2012. Yeah, 11. When we both worked together in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We went there not as a freedom fighters in the cellular jail, but to take care of IGNOU activities there. Yes. And Ashish was there to give training to the teachers of Andaman and Nicobar Islands on ICT. So he is a real expert on ICT, and currently he is with the Center of Online Education at Indira Gandhi National Open University. My very, very good friend Nageshwar Nathji, engineer Nath Saab, he is the nodal officer for the as the national coordinator for UG programs, and he is working at CEC, the Consortium for Educational Communication, which is the national body, and they have created really a wonderful repository of e-content. And they are guiding people, they are helping the faculty members in the country to have their UG courses to be mounted on SWAYAM. So I requested both of them that kindly join us in this session, because our faculty members, most of our courses at AUD, they will definitely go to these two national coordinators. The UG courses, they are being taken care by CEC, and the certificate and diploma courses are to be taken care by, to be processed by Indira Gandhi National Open University. So that's why I'm grateful to both of you to have joined us. So in the beginning, may I request engineer Nageshwar Nath ji to share his thoughts, the processes, and means how in association with CEC we can continue, what are the qualifications needed, what are the modalities needed, in that way that our friends, they are able to mount their courses on the SWAYAM platform. So over to you, please.
Thank you, sir. So as you introduced, sir, Consortium is now national coordinator for undergraduate and postgraduate non-technology courses in the country.
Yes.
Undergraduate was with us when we launched the SWAYAM in 2016. And in 2020 January, the postgraduate was also handed over to us.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is wonderful.
Till now, there have been 526 courses have been developed at both levels.
Great.
And aggregated student enrollment have been 12.5 lakh till now.
Wow, wow, congratulations.
Every semester, sir, we have 2.5 lakh students, more than 2.5 lakh students registered.
Great.
Now, Director CEC has been authorized to sign joint credit certificates, which is accepted all over the country by all the universities. And since launch of the program by Honorable President in 2017 July, this is going on, sir.
Yeah. I highly thank Professor Nadda ji for assisting us, helping us in our endeavor. So when you meet him after this session, please pass on my regards and namaste to him.
Sure, sir. So, sir, I shared to you that now we have opened up for academic collaboration with the universities and academic institutions. We have signed MOU with the Madurai Kamaraj University and Madras University. Yesterday, I got a call from our old friend, Professor S.S. Sandhu, earlier UGC secretary, now Vice Chancellor of Professor University. So he also signed the MOU. And my earlier director, Professor Rajbir Singh, now Vice Chancellor of
Rohtak.
You. So he's also
awesome.
So these things, as you were saying, that we have already developed 4-quadrant e-content in 7 undergraduate subjects. The e-content is available to any educational institutions through a MOU. 3. We only ask the institution to give us the media, around 10 to 12 terabyte media, and we copy it and give it to the institution. Because it's a national property, it should be used.
So the media, when you say media, what does it mean? Like some kind of disk space?
Hard disk, sir.
Okay.
10 to 12. And in the process now, we have shared the content to more than 40 institutions, universities across the country.
Okay.
Another thing, one MOU I shared, sir, you that academic collaboration for courses. So these courses, as you know, they are all 4-quadrant courses. It started from the basic, starts from the e-content.
Okay.
And we were the major partner when the e-content project, Enemy ICT project was launched in 2009 from Tirupati. So that was a beginning. And looking into the repository available with the CEC, as you were saying, Ministry identified consortium as a major partner for the SWAYAM and SWAYAM Prabha, the DTH project. It was, sir, basically the concept paper was my paper in 2015. I submitted to Ministry for SWAYAM.
Yes.
Slowly things started being built on that.
Yeah. Yes.
And I will share that process as you are saying.
Yeah.
I have also a presentation. I will share that presentation to you for the use by your people.
Yes.
Because that is documented.
Yeah.
The course as such, the consortium has a process where we invite round the year expression of interest from course coordinators. Course coordinator can submit the proposal in defined structure. Structure, I mean that it has to, if it is a 4-credit course, it has to cover the 4 credit. The course should be a part of university syllabus.
Okay.
Some universities in the country. And then there are other guidelines. It has to be 4-quadrant. It has to be vetted by the course. Proposal comes to CEC. It goes through academy, the subject expert group. Basically, it's a subject peer group. So if they recommend, yes, the course is worth the credit certification and it covers the topics, we take it to Academic Advisory Council, and after approval of the Academic Advisory Council, the course coordinator is given the approval to develop the course. Till now, the model has been that we don't go for a private production. The entire production has been taken in-house by our nearest media center, where the course coordinator is located. So to count 21 media centers till now, and they have contributed, sir.
Yeah, yes, wonderful.
Out of, sir, 21, 8 media centers also run 1 DTH channel each.
Okay.
And DTH channels have been so success during the last 1.5 years that I say that more than 1.5 crore viewers.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. One question here before you begin with, because you said that 4 credit course.
Yes, sir.
What happens if I want to prepare a course which is of 2 credits? Will I be able?
It is allowed, sir,
Okay.
but the funds will be available proportional only for 2 credits.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if the course is the course coordinator submits the course for the SWAYAM,
Mhm.
the course coordinator has to put the proposal to CEC as a national coordinator.
Mhm.
That is the route.
Okay.
And in the process, after the approval of the course, we also give the honorarium as approved by the ministry to the course coordinator for development and for his hard work.
So this fund will come to the university in the name of that course coordinator, or will go directly to the course coordinator?
Sir, the funds be advanced to my nearest media center
Uh-huh.
where the production will take place.
Okay.
The total fund is available around 13.5 lakh.
Okay.
Out of that, 4.5 lakh is available to the course coordinator for the 4 credit course.
Mm-hmm.
The money, of course, for the development of the course, production of the course, and other things.
Okay. So, and who maintains the the finances, means the vouchers, the clearance of this?
The media center, concerned media center, has to maintain.
Okay.
And in turn, every year we seek the utilization certificate from the media center before advancing another fund.
Okay. So what will be the role of the university's finance division in that?
I don't find, sir, much involvement of the university finance division.
Okay.
If your university signs MOU with CEC as an academic partner, and you have a number of courses with your university, some model can be worked out that we transfer the fund to your university also. That can be worked out.
Okay. Okay.
Earlier, I tried this with the Mumbai University. There were 4 coordinator from Mumbai University. So somehow that didn't work out because of the vice chancellor was not agreeing. Why should I maintain this fund, that fund? So then I requested my media center at Pune to take it.
That is good. That is, it saves some hassles at our end. Yes. There is one question. Is there any standardization of credits? Means, will a 4-credit course carry 4 credit for all universities?
Sir, 4 credit, as you know, that the basic standardization is that the BC 4 quadrant material and 12 to 15 hours of teaching learning material. That makes a 1 credit.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
The basic understanding with the ministry and after discussion with the UGC. So this has been frozen. We also give liberty to course coordinator. If he finds not 12, 10 hours can do, we leave it to him.
Okay.
As academic liberty, the person should have something.
But standardization is 15 hours of learning activity as 1 credit.
12 to 15 hours.
Oh, 12 to 15 hours. Okay.
Yes.
So please go ahead with your sequence now, because you must have thought that I will proceed in this way.
That's fine, sir. So when we designed the MOOCs, actually, MOOCs for credit, for knowledge, domain skill, blended and flipped learning. आप तो करते रहे ये सब पहले. So that's how people are using it actually. There are 8 national coordinators identified across the country. Out of the CEC for the undergraduate and postgraduate education, non-technology. Technology part goes to NPTEL, IIT Madras.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So any fresh proposal coming against expression of interest, that is processed by the subject expert group first, who vet it for the number of credits, the coverage of the proposal? Is it justifying the number of credits? And is it fulfilling the need of the 4 quadrant?
Okay.
We also speak along with the proposal, sir, some 2 to 5 minutes introductory video to see the presentation skill of the course coordinator.
Suppose if I want to prepare a course and I don't have any access to go to the media center studio, can I create the video using my mobile phone or my digital camera? And
yes, sir, that is allowed.
That
But
is
only
allowed. Okay.
presentation should be like
Okay. And
extempore होना चाहिए.
ठीक है.
और जब you should be your usual self, जैसे आप क्लासरूम में पढ़ाते हैं. We need that only, sir. आपका वही स्किल चाहिए.
Okay. Okay. And how much time?
PowerPoint.
Sir,
Is it along with PowerPoint slides or it is just?
it is
the
no, the
person speaking?
material is available on a PowerPoint. I will share it to Professor Sharma.
No, I'm saying that 3-4 minute introductory video. Is
Yeah,
it
we
just the
can-
person speaking or can that
No.
person use PowerPoint slides?
No, it is speaking only. It is to
Okay,
see the
okay.
presentation skill of the person.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
And Nath sir, there is one more question. Means how much time one gets to prepare a 4 credit course?
Sir, a 4 credit course normally be allowed 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4. Okay.
It is a lot of courses is being developed, so we have many courses. And what is happening now? I have diverted focus of my media center from usual courses that teacher comes and delivers a lecture and kind of thing that. No, now we are using very extensively the instructional design, learner-centric courses. Because the teacher yes.
Ankush, can you please mute your microphone? Or if you have a question, then you can ask it or type it into the chat. Nath sir, there is one more thing. Can you just explain about what we need to, submit as a part of expression of interest? Because you were explaining it.
Yes, sir. So it is a very detailed guidelines are available on the expression of interest website. So there are terms and conditions, there are instructions, then there are format in which the course coordinator have to submit.
Okay.
So I will suggest, I think I sent it earlier to you.
Yes.
And if need come, I can send some of my academic coordinators to your place as per your convenience, so you can explain the totality.
Yeah, I think when the university opens and our faculty members, they start coming, then that will be a good idea to have a.
As I was saying, the submission proposal and review process involves submission of proposal, vetting at NC end. At our end also, we do some kind of vetting, whether the course is submitted in the format and what is the credentials of the course coordinator. All those things have been vetting. Then it goes to subject expert group, normally a 3-member group. Last 1.5 years, we were finding it very hard. I had day before yesterday, I had a meeting with my project group. So because this process slowed down the new courses processing due to difficulty in the entire world, but now we are going to take up it again. After the subject expert group recommendations, it goes to CEC Academic Advisory Council. And after approval of the course, we allow the course coordinator, give him approval to start the course development. And the course is also sent to SWAYAM board ministry for approval.
Mm-hmm.
This subject expert group and academic advisory council process is a part of guidelines issued by ministry in 2016 and 2017. So ministry is also very sure that if it is approved by these bodies, the course will be of worth. I was saying that now we have started production of new format courses. Earlier, when we launched the project in 2016-17, it was basically lot of material came from the e-content developed earlier, and it was basically repurposed.
Okay.
But it was not meant for the courses. Different thing. You deliver a lecture in the classroom, you have students in front of you.
Yes.
There is a inbuilt interactivity already in the system.
Okay.
But with the online courses, you don't know who is where, which student is where, at which remote corner of the country or beyond the country. So later on, lot of discussion happened, and then we started developing, putting lot of instructional design in the course development and focusing on learner-centric MOOCs.
Okay.
By adding activities, the learning by doing activities, reflection spots, creating reflection spots, building interactivity in between the delivery. So these kind of things now happening actually.
Okay. Okay.
Major focus is after discussion with the course coordinator, animation, graphics component. So those kind of things now we have started developing. Since 2 years, I have been talking to my media centers, de-learn and relearn, because people are very expert in the design of educational content, media center people. Since last 27, 28 years, they have been doing this.
Okay.
Now there is a time to relearn.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me repeat this again, and then there are two quick questions for you. We will be preparing our proposal and submitting either it is UG or PG non-technical course. The permission from the institution, there is a format for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then a 2-3 minute video explaining the course by the course coordinator.
Yes, yes.
Then one model unit.
May not be needed at the proposal stage.
Okay. Okay. And what else?
Sorry to interrupt, but do you need a course outline at this proposal stage?
Proposal stage, yes. The course outline, how many lectures should be there, the course coverage, what topics it will cover.
Okay.
I think it's a part of the course proposal forms available on the CC website.
Thank you.
In our university, we have a format, we call it as SCAP document, which contains why this course is essential, how it is in tune with the vision and mission of the university, what will the module structure, what will be the assessment strategy, the further readings, etc. There are many things into it. Will that serve the purpose if we submit it to you in that
Sir,
shape?
आप तो पहले से ही बात कर रहे हैं, हम जब बात करते हैं किसी कोर्स की तो फर्स्ट थिंग कम्स द नीड एनालिसिस, जो आप पहले ही कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
That is worth it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Good. How this is different from ePathshala?
ePathshala was created as a e-content course material. Of course, it was in 4 quadrants, but
basic
production quality, we are not very happy.
Okay.
Because the video production produced in the e-content, ePathshala, and now MOOCs, it also goes to 33 Swayamprabha DTH channels. The video quality requirement of DTH channels are very good. Very excellent quality video goes there, because now we have put a quality controller at BIJAG uplinking facility. So if some video is not of the respective quality, it gets rejected there only.
Oh, okay. And so basically we can say that the Swayam courses, they are the courses, whereas the material on ePathshala is basically as a e-content repository.
Yeah, it's learning course basically, sir.
Okay.
When we started e-content activity, we thought is this a self-learning package. But
And
slowly,
then our friends, they have one a question which is very relevant, that is there a scope for a submitted ongoing course to be improved by the teacher after 1 or 2 iterations? So does the modified or updated course also go through new screening or reviewing process?
no,
Or
not exactly. We allow that liberty to the course coordinator
okay,
to review and refresh the course. And if
okay,
some new modules are to be produced, we allow production cost for that also.
okay. And
But
then
it will be a rerun course. It will not be a new course if it is a earlier run on the Swayam.
okay. No, if it is not run on the Swayam, but means we are already teaching it in the university.
Then it will be new course. If it is first time on Swayam, it will be new course.
Achha, okay, okay. So for the platform, whether it is new or not, that needs to be checked.
Right.
Okay. And can there be more than one course instructor for a proposed course?
Sir, the courses, as we say, that 4 credit involves a lot of topics. So there can be more than one course coordinator, but yes, the lead course coordinator has to be one only by whose name the course is going. There can be other instructors also in the various topics.
Okay, okay. Good. Anything else you would like to tell us, that when we prepare our proposal, what are the salient features, do's and don'ts? Means ये नहीं करना, ये भेजोगे तो मुझे तकलीफ होगी काटने में, या ये भेजोगे तो बड़ा खुशी होगी, immediately pass हो जाएगा, something like that.
First and foremost thing that the course proposal has to be as per the instruction manual available on our website.
Okay.
And the format.
Okay.
First, the foremost thing is that the Ambedkar University should also provide me the consent letter for any courses you are going to propose, because without consent letter, we don't consider the course. So consent letter should be in a format. That format will be made available to you. And the format means, basic meaning of the consent letter is that yes, university approved these courses for the transfer of credits.
Okay. And who can sign that letter? Means it has to be from registrar, from vice chancellor, or dean can also sign it.
The registrar is the most suitable person dealing with outside agencies.
Okay.
So normally we get from the registrar. Some universities also vice chancellor साहब sign करके देते हैं.
Okay.
So जो भी आपका यूनिवर्सिटी का process हो, we don't go into that.
Okay. So anything else from your side?
सर मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि जो हम बात कर रहे हैं कोर्सेज बनाने की,
जी,
तो शार्टर वीडियोज, पहले तो हमने इस पर बहुत डिस्कशन किया स्वयं बोर्ड में. आईआईटी के लोगों से लड़ाई भी काफी किया, क्योंकि आईआईटी का अपना एक मॉडल है और उनका तरीका है कि भाई जो भी बच्चा आईआईटी करना चाहे तो हम 1 घंटे से 1.5 घंटे का लेक्चर है, अगर पढ़ना चाहे. मेरा कहना था कि अभी जो है अटेंशन स्पैन कम होता जा रहा है, तो वी शुड मेक शॉर्टर वीडियोज, 7 मिनट से 10 मिनट. हमारे भी वीडियोज 30 मिनट के होते हैं. Now I have been telling my media centers कि भाई इसको शॉर्ट करो, break a topic into smaller videos, leaving some reflection spots so that another video can come.
Okay. And when we create a video, not as the introductory video which we are submitting to you as the proposal, but the video as the content in the course, as the course module.
Yes,
so I just want to know, can we have a variety of materials including text, audio, video in a proposed course? And also, if these can be updated and when, means what is the process of updating?
सर मैं तो ये कहता हूँ कि ओवर द इयर्स कोई भी टीचर collects lot of model, graphs, chart, photos as his personal teaching material. All those can be included.
Okay. Okay.
मॉडल्स, लर्निंग बाय डूइंग एग्जांपल्स, अगर आपने कहीं बाहर कोई 2 मिनट 4 मिनट का वीडियो शूट किया वो भी इंक्लूड करिए सर.
Okay. Good.
So we talk of learning by doing exercises, we talk of learning extension exercises, reference material, web resources, audio video clips जैसा मैं कह रहा हूँ, learning interaction, focus questions, discussion forums.
Okay. Okay.
This entire things only will make a learner sitting at somewhere remote corner
Mm-hmm.
to be confident. क्लास में तो नहीं आपके, वो तो कहीं बाहर बैठा है.
Sure. Sure. And one clarification in the guideline which you gave to me, and I displayed it in my last workshop.
Yes,
There
sir.
are 2 email IDs, one for UG course, one for PG course, to be
Right.
submitted to you. But in addition to that, there is a sorry, there is a website also. So do we need to go to that website and upload our things, or we just make a package
Yeah,
and email it?
That's a little contradictory, because as you are saying, what happened actually, our website has created this expression of interest long back in 2018.
Yes.
And last year, the ministry and UGC came up with another expression of interest
Mm,
for gap area courses.
yes.
Area, I mean that we have developed some courses in a subject,
Mm,
but there are lot is left to be developed.
yes.
So we identified those courses,
Mm,
and it is enlisted on the
Webs-
UGC expression of interest.
yes. Yes.
If you are interested, you are more welcome, sir. Most welcome to contribute in that also.
Okay. Okay.
The processes are parallelly going on by at CEC
Mm,
for the processing at subject expert group and academic council level.
okay. Okay. So I'm just giving an example. Suppose if I'm teaching a course whose name is say sociological imagination, and this course is already a part of our AUD curriculum through the, say for example, School of Global Affairs, and we already have it offered on our Moodle platform. So the content is already in the shape of 4 quadrants. We have videos for that, we have e-content, we have assessment activities, and discussion forum is, it is always a new one, always a time. Discussions cannot be, that one. So I assume that then with the authorization letter from the university, these things we can submit it very well, and it will be considered.
Sir, I will request you, not this semester, because already the courses have started this semester,
Okay.
July, but next semester you take up this, submit the processing, we do the processing in between, and January 2021, you start this course.
Okay. Okay. So, but for that, we will need some time. So in that case, we submit our proposal now, work on it, so that by January, it will be on offer to the students.
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay. Okay. And if there are courses already available on SWAYAM on similar topic, is one allowed to develop another course on the same topic?
Sir, the primary focus has been that not much multiplicity, but always in academic circles, there have been same books by many authors.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. That suppose I want to teach alkane, alkyne in organic chemistry.
Yes.
So title may be same, but
Yes.
my content may be different from Ashish.
So that will be, sir, looked at by at CC level, and then we
Okay.
not a problem. And your neighbor, we are doing lot of work with your neighbor, the National Law University.
Yes. Yes.
They have developed lot of courses for us.
Okay. Okay. So I think my queries are over with you. If you want to add anything to what you have added, then please tell us.
Sir, my presentation is very detailed and self-explanatory. I will mail it to you.
Okay.
And some thing like I would like to share while developing the videos. It should not be like a spoken tutorial kind of thing.
Okay.
But it should be your normal delivery in a classroom.
Mm-hmm. So in that case, what is the role of course coordinator once the course is launched on the portal?
Sir, before launching the course, we seek from the course coordinator and the media center director where the course has been developed, review certification, course completion certification to the effect that the course is free from any copyright and IPR issues.
Okay.
This course coordinator and my media center director has to certify before we take it on the SWAYAM.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And after that, once the course has been launched, after that, what will be the role of CC?
Course coordinator will, sir, once the course is launched, he will be occupied for the entire course duration to arrange for the student interaction, group discussion, student forums. Of course, there is a provision that we allow the course coordinator to engage teaching assistant. For that, also, there is some payment structure available.
Okay.
So the teaching assistant can be engaged, like your research scholars or senior students, if you are very confident of some students. So that can be also done, sir.
And this reminds me, I will ask the same question to Ashish also about the examination part then.
Examination, sir, before the examination, the course coordinator has to submit 2 sets of question papers.
To CC?
Not to CC, to NTA, National Testing Agency.
Okay.
Now it is through a portal, exam portal. So the course coordinator had designed the question paper on the portal itself. Okay. And out of the 2 sets, even the course coordinator does not know which set will come to the student.
Okay.
It is an intelligent system. It mix matches the question sets and creates one for the student.
Okay. And how the examinations are conducted and evaluated then?
Examinations, sir, is conducted by NTA through proctored system of examination throughout the country.
Oh, okay.
They have sought a partner and like TCS. And they are also conducting examination for students who have enrolled from abroad. Like last 2 semesters, they have been conducting examination from South Africa, Kenya, Afghanistan.
Yes.
My courses have been, entire courses have been taken by government of Afghanistan through a MOU.
Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations. And can you just briefly clarify, a little more on plagiarism issue while we design the course?
Sir, it is the total responsibility of the course coordinator to see that there is no plagiarism.
So do we need to submit some certificate or what?
Yes, sir. There is a certificate for that also.
Okay.
And now for the good part of it, that there is a software available. If you pass through some text out of that, it identifies and tells how much portion has been there.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how will subjective answers be evaluated? Given multiple perspectives in social sciences. Maybe, as you said, NTA will have their own panel of examiners, and like a university evaluates the answer sheets, they will do that.
So the primary focus has been that we design question paper for the computer-based test.
Okay.
The option is there for the subjective question paper also. it makes the entire thing delayed because we announced the results for last semester courses in CBT papers. But till now the NTA could not announce the result.
Okay.
Lot of formalities are there.
Oh, okay. There are administrative issues. Okay, then I think I will ask a last question of today.
Basic idea was that to design this question paper portal was that it makes you design the question sets for the critical and analytical thinking, and all the aspects is take care actually. Basically, they have
yes. So suppose I created a course और बाद में मेरा mood बदल गया. So if in a particular year, if I as a course coordinator decide not to run the course, then what happens?
You search a course, another course coordinator, and advise him to run your course. We allow that.
Oh, okay. So we means it cannot be dropped.
No, if you wish, it can be dropped also for the semester. Not anything. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I have Ashish. In my case, he will take care of my course.
The course comes to you, sir. It is your decision.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I will look forward to your presentation. Kindly email. I will share it with my all these colleagues.
Right.
And on behalf of university and as you, my elder brother, I thank you. And Nadda Saab, please do say my namaste to him when you meet him. And we look forward to our continued collaboration with CEC. Thank you. You are most welcome to stay. So in case if you think that you can provide some input, then you are most welcome. Now I will request.
Learn you. Here you learn people all actually. This is learning for me. So I will be here.
Yes. So friends, now I welcome our good friend Dr. Ashish Kumar Avadia. He is currently working with Center of Online Education in Indira Gandhi National Open University, which is a nodal center for taking care of online activities in the university. And IGNOU, you may be knowing that it is the biggest university in the Commonwealth and has millions of students on its rolls, and it offers courses from up to all levels, means from awareness programs up to PhD programs. Although the technical courses were also on offer, but due to certain jhagada among perhaps the Bar Council and the AICT, etc., or the agricultural things, there are certain issues currently, but IGNOU has shown very successfully that any kind of course, any pertaining to any discipline can be offered through ODL mode. So I welcome you, Dr. Ashish. Dr. Ashish has successfully launched many online courses on this SWAM platform, and he is the right person. Means we will be having it like from the horse's mouth. So he is our horse, and let us have it from the horses. Over to you, Ashish. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for inviting me. And Nageshwar sir को भी बहुत धन्यवाद. He has given a very good overview and a very macro as well as micro level perspective of the SWAYAM, how SWAYAM guidelines are there and how SWAYAM is being implemented. All things he has very nicely narrated. So basically, he has already narrated what are the broader guidelines. I will just go through some process how you develop the proposal and what are the components in the proposal, what fields you need to fill in that proposal, and where you have to go for your proposal, which sort of course. If you are offering PG level, you are offering UG level, you are offering certificate and diploma level. So accordingly, you have to select the national coordinator. Accordingly, you have to submit your proposal. So basically, the proposals are submitted through expression of interest, and all the national coordinator, they have their own ways of accepting expression of interest. So I'll share my screen and we will discuss. I think host disabled participation.
Okay, let me make you the Uh, Deepak ji, can you give the rights to Dr. Ashish? Okay, now you are co-host. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll share my screen. I'll basically will discuss how you can develop the proposal, and I also request Nageshwar sir if he can add into that so you get the broader perspective. So I think you're able to see my whole screen.
Yeah, it is coming up. Yes, we can
Okay.
see the Zoom page.
So I'll start basically with my presentation, and I'll not discuss all the slides with you. Some some main slides I'll discuss, and then we'll directly reach to the proposal part. So these are basically SWAYAM is initiated by government of India. This already it was discussed by Nageshwar sir. Then these are the regulatory framework of SWAYAM. Basically, SWAYAM is governed by these four guidelines, that is developing online courses by under SWAYAM. Then UGC credit transfer, which basically discusses about how the credit will be mobilized from one university to the other university. Then they have also guideline on by AICT that also discusses about the similar things. Then scope of SWAYAM has a broader scope, which has you can launch courses from curriculum based courses, content covering various disciplines, school level courses, advanced curriculum, skill based courses, courses to meet the needs of the lifelong learner, as well as independent courses. So you have to decide which sort of course you want to offer, what is your client. Accordingly, these are the national coordinators, and these are the national coordinators which are looking after different type of courses like UGC non-technical PG courses. If you see IGNOU is a diploma in certificate level courses, as well as skill based courses, IIMB for management courses. So this you have to see, and how you approach to these national coordinators through their expression of interest. Suppose if you want to submit your proposal to IGNOU, so IGNOU has their own portal for that, that is IGNOU expression of interest. I'll share the link with you. So this is the homepage of IGNOU expression of interest, and I have collated some websites of expression of interest of IGNOU, CEC, NITR Chennai, UGC MOOC, IIMB Bangalore. So you can go to these links and directly go to their website, and you can see how they have requested their proposal. Basically, most of the things in the proposal are same for all the national coordinators, because all the fields, all the requirements are coming from the guidelines. So more or less they are similar. However, each and every national coordinator, according to their own specification, they have added some more fields. So what type of courses you can offer? There are two type of courses you can offer, that is credit based course and non-credit based course. So any course which is a part of your syllabus, that can be offered as a credit based course, and you can offer any independent courses. Suppose you think this is a course which is not being offered from my university, or it is not a particular structured curriculum, but it will be helpful. You can definitely offer this course also.
The difference is that for credit course, there is financial assistance. For non-credit course, there is no financial assistance.
Sir, financial assistance are there both. In that both, it is up to ANC. They will offer you course. Only in case of non-credit courses, basically they can be sort of like in our IGNOU, there is a course on solar water pumping. So that is not part of any structured curricula, but that is being offered through IGNOU, and it is very popular.
Okay.
But if it's a non-credit course, does it have to go through the university approvals and processes?
That's not. It will not go through university, because it is a non-credit course, so it is an independent course, because university is not offering course. Only credit course will be required the approval from the university. But it is always better you get the approvals from the university and then forward the course. It is sort of awareness course which many universities also offer. IGNOU also offers some awareness course. So it is sort of that. So this is the 4-quadrant approach. Whenever you are offering any course, either it is credit course, non-credit course, what it should be, it should have a 4-quadrant approach. And quadrant 1, I already Nageswar sir has said, e-tutorial. Quadrant 2 is a e-content. Quadrant 3 is a discussion forum, and quadrant 3 is a discussion forum, and quadrant 4 is a assessment. These all are integral component of one particular course being offered through SWAYAM. It should be in a 4-quadrant approach. And what is credit? So this is the important slide. 4-credit course. So generally in SWAYAM there is a standard of course that is a 4-credit course. 4-credit course should have 40 videos of duration of 30 minutes. So basically the whole video content is of 20 hours, and there should be 40 SLM or reading module of around 3000 words. And 1-credit course, so all SWAYAM courses are divided into weeks. So they are offered in the in week plan. So 1 to 4 credit course can be covered within 4 to 12 weeks. So like somebody has asked the question that can we offer 2-credit course? So yes, you cannot offer 2-credit course. In that case, the total number of half-an-hour videos will be 40 and SLMs will be 40. Accordingly, the week will also change. So basically what is proposal? Proposal is a planning stage. When you basically proposal is of your planning, how you have planned the course and how you are going to deliver the course. The whole things comes into your proposal. And these are the agencies which basically look your proposals. Once you develop a proposal, it goes to NC. After NC, it processes for standardization whether all components are there. Then it goes to subject matter expert committee, which sees your content as an academic point of view, and then it goes to the academic advisory council, which finally approves your course, and then it goes to for offer. So these are the agencies which will effectively see your proposal. The first once you create the proposal, it will go to national coordinator. National coordinator will screen your proposal for any duplicacy, for incompletion. All those things will be screened at national coordinator, and once these things are filtered, it will go to the subject matter expert committee group. Once the subject matter expert okays your course, signals green to your course, it goes to academic advisory council, and then it goes to SWAYAM academic board for notification. And IPR, already it is said, you should always follow copyright law. Then course coordinator will have the explicit permission. Then this is the faculty path, how you go ahead with the course thing. First you have to submit your proposal. Once it is approved by NC, you produce the content. Once you produce the content, you teach online, you conduct assessment, facilitate didactic discussion, review the progress of the learners, grade your students, finish the course, and teach more. This is the overall faculty path. Now from where to start? This is very important, how to start. So it starts from, now actual thing, how you will create the proposal, it starts from here. So process of offering the course begins with the announcement of expression of interest from national coordinator. And most of the national coordinator generally they have opened their portal, and it is on the ongoing basis. There is no sort of announcement. Most of the portals are open and they accept the proposals on ongoing basis, and every year, maybe twice in a year, they they review those proposals and they process that proposal. So SWAYAM courses are offered in 2 cycles. One is January cycle and second is July cycle. So you have to plan from which cycle you want to start. Suppose you, like Nageshwar sir has said that their processing for July proposals has already been done. So now they will be processing the January 2022 session. So accordingly you have to plan. So now let's go to some expression of interest side. I'll see. This is expression of interest of IGNOU. This is the, here you have to register. Once you register, you have to sign in, and once you sign in, you will go into the proposal stage. Then this is the page of EOI, expression of interest page of CEC. UGC MOOCs, PG MOOCs, you have to register and then you have to submit. I'll share one draft. This is the proposal template for IGNOU, and almost all these fields will be covered in any of the proposal. I'll just go through what are the fields required in this proposal template, and then we'll again shift to my presentation where we will discuss these fields in detail. So this is the first page. It is a user profile. They ask for your name, institution name, your experience.
So, user mean course coordinator.
Pardon, sir?
User means course coordinator.
Yes. Now it is a course coordinator. You as a course coordinator, you have to fill the details.
Okay.
All these details. This is the word form of the template. We actually accept in the expression of interest. This is the website from where we accept, but all these fields are there in this word format. So you have to fill your user profile, user detail, your experience, your address, brief text, and then it comes to part 2, that is course proposal. Name of the host institution. So host institution is the institution which is offering the course. Institution is the institution from where the learner is coming to access the course. So you are the, suppose in case you are offering the course, so in your course your university becomes the host institution. You have to select the write the course title, course overview, main subject area, medium of instruction, duration, new course or repurposed course. I think somebody has asked this question, whether we can offer our course, existing course, to the SWAYAM by manipulating it, by modifying it. So yes, this is the field in this. If you are developing new course, this will fall under new course. If it is repurposed, suppose you have one already existing course running in your syllabus, you want to repurpose it to be accepted by more larger clientele, you can make it repurposed and you can offer it. Details of the program, type of the certification, credit course or non-credit course, total credits, objective of the course, then what will be the learning outcomes. And it is very important that URL of the introductory video. It is very important, and most of the committees, most of the members of the advisory academic council, they see this video, and this video makes very important effect in selection of your course. So it is, and we will discuss what things need to be there in your introductory video. And very importantly, when your course goes into public platform, introductory video also seen by the learners, and they register in your course also based on your introductory video. Then eligibility for enrollment.
Okay, Ashish, one question
Yes.
here, and Nageshwar ji is also present.
Yeah.
Suppose I created a video as introductory video for submission of my proposal,
Yeah.
and after my proposal was approved, now I am preparing my course to be launched on the platform. Can I, and by that time I had new idea, can I
Yes.
update this introductory video?
Yes, sir. Definitely, you are free. You are free.
Okay.
It is always provision for updation. No issues.
Okay.
Okay. Then course prerequisite and intended audience. It is same thing like you were discussing about need analysis. Most of the components of need analysis of your course will fall under these categories. Then number of cycle to be offered your course. So I already told that SWAYAM courses are being offered two times per year, January cycle and July cycle. So these things you have to mention how many cycle you want to offer, and these are the course announcement date, start date and closure date. So these are the basically field which when your course will announce, when your course will start, when your course will close. But most of the now, so SWAYAM academic calendar is very fixed. So every academic calendar, suppose you want to offer for July courses, so your course will be announced in say for July, so it will be announced during May. It will start from July and it will end after, if it is a 12-week course, so it will end after July, August, September. So it will finish by September or October. So these things are basic information you have to give. Then evaluation methodology. What is evaluation methodology? How your course will be evaluated. Like in case of IGNOU, we take 30% marks for internal assessment and 70% weightage to term end exam. So these things you have to mention. And how you decide the evaluation methodology? Evaluation methodology will be decided as per your university norms, because your registrar or your controller of the examination will be giving consent that okay, our university will offer this course, we will take examination for this, and we will give credit transfer for this course. So evaluation methodology will be the based on the processes of the host institution. Then grading scheme, how you will grade your course, assignment, what percentage you are going to assignment. If you have any practical, right now there are no practical based courses, so that can be given 0, then final assessment and any other thing. So basically these are the assessment strategies, grading scheme. They will depend how your university is offering the course and they are evaluating the course. Then again, do you have facilities for production and editing of the videos animations? This is very important. If the university has, in case of IGNOU, we have already our own production facility. So if your university has own production facility, you can say yes. If you do not have any production facility, you can say no, and you can say your plan for editing. Like in case of CEC, Dr. Nageshwar sir has said that they produce their course in their own EMRCs. So all those things, modalities can be taken care of. Now this is very important. This is the declaration of the course coordinator. Like it is the basically template of the consent from the host institution, that the host institution, controller of the examination or registrar of the university will give you a declaration on the letterhead of the university that I have collected the undertaking from host university institution conveying its willingness to offer the course for credit, conduct examination, assessment, evaluation, issue the certificate and transfer the credit to the students of the parent university. So this is the important part, because we don't give any approval to the courses if this consent form is not available from the host institution. And then, like somebody also asked whether we have to give the detailed structure of our course. Yes, you have to give overall outline of your course. That suppose you are offering 4 credit course and your course is of 12-week duration, how you will produce the course, what will be your tentative video title, who will be the tentative course instructor or video subject matter expert for that, what will be the content expect, and what will be the duration. So these are all our planning of your course, how you want to propose your course, what things will be covered in your course. So these are our tentative. It is not that you have, suppose you have put in proposal, you have given one title, you cannot change the title. You can change the title later on. This is basically on the basis of your creation of this template. The committee, subject matter expert and the academic advisory council will see your proposal, how you have planned to deliver your content. They, on these basis, they will give approval to your course. Then you have to also mention about reading materials. You have to also mention week-wise plan of assessment, how you will assess your course on week-wise basis, and reviewer detail. You also need to give the details of the reviewer, who will be the reviewers. So these are basically a course team. Course is not offered by a one particular course coordinator. A whole course is offered by a team of people. The team involved course coordinator, if required, course co-coordinator, if required, teaching assistant, then subject matter expert who will record the videos, and there will be peer reviewers, those who will be seeing those videos for their authenticity, if there are any correction, if there are any upgradation. So all those things will be required. Now these whole things, the decision upon selecting the subject matter expert, reviewer, co-course coordinator as well as teaching assistant, it all depends upon the course coordinator. The decision making authority on the selecting the team is a course coordinator.
In that case, the reviewer, etc., they can be from outside the host
Yes.
institution, anyone?
Yes, anyone. anywhere.
And do they allow means outside India?
Outside India they allow, but generally the payment processing, if you can,
Okay. Oh, the
the things.
payment is involved
Otherwise
in
you
this.
can involve.
Okay. Okay. No,
And
you
this is,
could.
yeah, tell me, sir.
No, means I was not aware that the payment will be there. So if it is payment,
Yeah.
then definitely
Yes,
that issue.
because the major you can take, but major problem is the foreign money transfer that happens. So this is the course co-coordinator detail. Like right now, I think somebody asked whether we can take the course coordinator. So yes, if you have a bigger course or some courses, sometimes the courses has too many registration. Many courses in CEC I have seen more than 10,000, more than 15,000 registration. In that case, definitely you should have more team to engage your learners in discussion forum. So you can have a course coordinator. So this is the end of the basic template. These fields are required in the course proposal. I'll forward this whole word format to Professor Sharma. They will share you. Now let us discuss these fields, what to include and what not to include. Basically, we will discuss what to include in these things. So we will discuss about the host university. Who is the host university? In case you are offering the course from your university becomes the host university. Host university is an institution or university willing to offer the course, agreed to conduct the assessment and award the credit or certification. The credit needs to be cleared or approved by the competent authority of the host institution. So this question was also asked because who will sign the consent form? So it is again, it will be depending upon your procedure of your university. So this is the host university's undertaking. These content, the whole content should come into the letterhead of the university, that undertaking that they are conveying its willingness to offer the course for credit, conduct examination, assessment, evaluation, issue the certificate, transfer the credit to the students of the parent university or institution. Now course title we have discussed. Now course title should be very catchy. What they say, your course title should be in such a way that it catches the learners. It should not be vague. All those things we see while the subject matter expert group and the academic advisory council review your proposal. Many times we have seen that some course proposals come, their title is vague. Like I just give you example, we got a proposal from one university that says I know disability. So I know disability looks very good, but what do you want to tell? So basically the course was meant for some parents, and it was meant for how the parents of the disabled child should manage their kids. So our committee told, no, you just change I know disability, the parental perspective. So this way you can title your course in such a way that it is catchy, it attracts the right audience, right intended audience. Then overview of the course, you have to give overview of the course in very brief, around 100 to 200 words, about how your delivery, what will be your pedagogy, what will be the broad objectives of the course, and how you will offer the course, what will be your strategy to offering the course. Maybe you will be giving more focus to discussion group, maybe you will be giving some outside assignments to your learners. All those fields you have to discuss. Then medium of instruction, you have to give the medium of instruction, whether your instruction will be Hindi or English. If you see in SWAYAM, most of the SWAYAM courses are English dominated. However, in IGNOU we have some courses which are being offered in Hindi also. So all those things you have to give. Then course duration in weeks. So you have to decide what will be your course duration. Generally, course duration depends upon the credit. If you are offering credit based course, and if it is a 4 credit based course, the duration will be around 12 weeks. But again, it is not very rigid. You can vary from 11 or 10 to 16 week also. So this is not very rigid structure. It is a tentative structure. Suppose a 4 credit course, a course coordinator think that no, I want to disseminate the whole content in 16 weeks. Yes, you are free to deliver into 15 weeks. Then about the course, again, it is a new course or repurposed from existing program. This you have to tell. Then credit and non-credit course we have already discussed. Objectives of the course. What are the broad objectives of the course, including expected learning outcomes? I think you are already aware about that. You have to give the broader objective of the course. And I think these all field come into your need analysis form. So you take those things from your need analysis form of your program or your course and put these in a proper way. Then learning outcome, you also can also put your learning outcome as per topic wise, theme wise, module wise. This is again up to you how you want to pace the course. Suppose you have structured your course topic wise, or you have structured your course theme wise. It depends upon you how you want to provide your learning outcomes. Then this is very important. Learning introductory video. It should be approximately 2 to 5 minute video. And what important things are there in introductory video is it should be preferably by course coordinator. It should provide course overview, what are the learning objective, prerequisite, learning outcomes, any other relevant. So the best way to see how you want to make the introductory video is simply you go to SWAYAM website, see some courses, browse some courses and see how introductory videos has been created. Accordingly, you can take a clue and you can create your course introductory video. Then teaching team, you have to provide about teaching team, who is your course coordinator, brief biodata. The brief biodata of the course coordinator also goes into the course introduction page. We will also go to some SWAYAM website and see how the course introductory page looks like. Then course co-coordinator, if you have eligibility for the enrollment, minimum eligible learners, minimum eligibility qualification criteria if you want to enroll into that course, if you have. Then prerequisite and intended audience. If you have, suppose you are offering any computer based skill course and you want your learners or target audience to have some minimum knowledge of computer, so you can mention that. So it is again based on your need analysis form. All things will come from your need analysis form. Course cycle and session we have already discussed. Announcement date, start date and end date you have to mention in your proposal. Video lectures. So you have to provide tentative video, title, name of the teacher, content abstract, duration of the video, as well as week or date in which the video will appear. So whole you have to, suppose you are offering for 4 credit course, you have to give tentative titles or tentative structures of 40 videos, and similarly corresponding reading material and week wise assessment plan. In week 1 what you will give, either you are going to give quiz based assessment, or you are going to have subjective assessment, or you are going to have some activity. All those things you have to mention in your proposal. Then what about video lectures? Video lecture should be along with transcripts. So you will create a video, you will also submit the transcript. And nowadays many courses are undergoing translation. There are around from IGNOU and from CCR, their courses are undergoing translation, and the translation is being done for around 8 languages. So that is also a work in development. 4 credit course may have 40 videos of half an hour duration, and the total duration comes to 20 hours. Like Nageshwar sir said that, very rightly said, that the attention span of the learner is very less. So 30-minute video, definitely the attention span is less, so the learner will not be engaged for 30 minutes. So you can go for 15 minutes, 2 videos of 15 minutes, that can be done. Then production facility you have to see, because see there are in SWAYAM courses, you for 4 credit course you have to produce 40 videos. So you should have plan how you will create 40 videos. So in case of IGNOU, we ask whether you have the video recording facility. If they are Delhi, IGNOU has also inside video recording facility, video production facility. So we also facilitate our course coordinators to record at our own studio. If they don't have, they can go with the UGC empaneled video vendors, video development vendors, and they can record their videos. Then evaluation methodology, it will depend upon the overall strategy of the assessment will depend upon the host institution. So you have to see, suppose you are offering one course which is already being offered from your university. So it's a credit based course. So the whole evaluation scheme of that course should also match with the assessment strategy of the course being offered through SWAYAM. So this will be there. It should include both summative and formative assessment methodology. What will be the achievement level? These are all things you can mention in your proposal form. Grading scheme, already we have discussed. What will be your grading scheme, whether you are giving 30% marks to assessment or you are not giving assessment marks to the internal assessment. All those things you have to mention in your proposal, well planned, how you are going to have a final examination. In final examination, like right now, SWAYAM final exams are being conducted by NTA. What happens in NTA? They have their own platform of creating the quiz. The platform is known as eSolek. In that, you have to submit your questions. Now, the question papers again are of two types. One is objective type question paper. One is of pen paper type question paper. In objective type of paper question paper, there are again two patterns. You can go for 100 questions. You can go for 50 questions. All these questions are multiple type of questions. In case of pen paper marks, pen paper questions, they again have the structure that these many objective type, these many short answer question, these many long answer question, and you have to put two sets of question paper in the their platform, and all the answer keys are filled after exam is conducted. So the exam is conducted in a very fair manner and very planned manner. It is being conducted by NTA. And the name of the reviewers. So every video prepared by your subject matter expert will be reviewed by one peer review process. It will go through peer review process, and you can decide your peer reviewers. We have already discussed. You can decide from your own university. You can decide from other university. It is again up to you.
Is it only for video, the reviewers, or the text content also?
Text content, no sir. For text content, there is no review process. Text content will be given by the subject matter expert. It is, I think it is better to suppose the person who is reviewing the video, they can also go through the text content and they can review that.
Okay.
So these are the basic challenges of the SWAYAM, and I think only 20% credits were earlier there. Now UGC has allowed for 40% credit also. And major drawback of the SWAYAM courses or the drawback of is the dropout. So, and the dropout is it's a global scenario. MOOCs, there's a lot of dropouts in that. I think Sarma sir is more aware of that. So these are the challenges at policy level, pedagogy level, and I think this is done.
Okay, thank you, Ashish. Thank you very much. There are two quick questions.
Yeah.
Maybe if you are not displaying any other, then you can.
Yeah. I think this is done.
One question is, are discussion sessions live and include all course participants or online question and answer? So
discussion forums are not live. They are asynchronous discussion. And student their discussion, and there are two type of discussion. One is announcement and one is discussion. In case of announcement, generally these are one way, and these are course sort of announcements that this content is published, when is the exam, this assignment is published. This is one is assignment announcement sort of thing, and then another is discussion, where basically the didactic discussion happens between the teacher and learner, and that is asynchronous, not in a synchronous mode.
Actually, in learning management system, we have two kind of functions. One is known as chat, like as in Moodle, and second is discussion. So the chat is live synchronous, because chat means when I'm typing, you are replying. And discussion forum is asynchronous, means I will post my query, and it can be teacher to peer students, or peer to peer, means among the students also. And I can make it as a graded assignment activity. I will give one question, I will ask my students that, okay, discuss this. And there are facilities that you cannot read the answer of others unless you submit your own input into it. That goes with that. Ashish, there is another question.
Yeah.
And how much time a course coordinator has to devote in a semester while the course is running, say for example, for 1,000 students?
That's what I'm saying. It is again up to you and how your audience is there. In case, generally what happens if your course is around 500 to 600 student, I think maybe half an hour to 1 hour time will be okay, because you are basically answering the learner's query, because your videos are already over, your assignment is uploaded, so you don't need to work on that. So maybe that's what it is a subjective. How active your learners are. The more active the learners are, the more time you have to devote. It means the more your course is popular, the more learner is active in your course, the more popular is your course. So, and you have to devote more time. So that is the answer.
Last year, I conducted one cooperative learning pedagogy. Around 5,000 students, they were enrolled. And although we all know that globally, the statistics says that the dropout is very high. I don't know what happened in our course. 65% of the people, they were active people. And every time means on an average, every day, me and Dr. Pargat Singh, my student, we were spending 3 to 4 hours
Yes.
talking to them, sending their replies and like that. So that is.
It may
Ashish,
happen.
another
Yes.
question. Can we use the video of already transacted courses for developing a related MOOC course? For example, if one converts a GYAN, the GYAN scheme of UGC, GIAN, global that network course into a MOOC, can we use the lecture videos of the invited faculty? What happened? It looks like a screen got freezed. Okay, Amit ji, the answer is yes, it can be taken, but just see that if it is our own, then that can be integrated into it. If it is someone else, and then if it is a IPR issue, then that needs to be sorted out.
Yes, all those things should be taken care of.
But otherwise, the answer to this question is yes.
Yes.
Okay. What is the last date of applying the courses for January? The answer to this, as Nageshwarji and Dr. Ashish, they both have said, that this is an ongoing issue now. There is no start or end date for receiving the proposals. But the thing is that whatever we submit now will be for January course, because for July, the batch has already started.
Yes.
And it is ongoing process, means it is something like in research journals, we can submit our paper anytime. It will be, when it is accepted, it will be published in the forthcoming issue.
True.
Okay, Ashish, can we also use other e-content already available on platforms like documentary or discussion videos available?
Yes, again with the Copyright Act and following the all IPR issues.
Okay, do these courses involve payment of fees? What is the role of host and parent universities in it, if there is a fee?
No, in SWAYAM courses, for joining the course, attending the course, accessing the content, there is no fees. Only fees is for examination that is being conducted by NTA, and the fees of per courses for appearing the examination is 1,000 rupees.
1,000. I think they have not revised that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they have not revised it.
They have not revised.
I suggest that I think they can give fee waiver this to the students.
In first run of the SWAYAM, they have given fee waiver, but after that,
yeah, because NTA needs money. They have very recently shifted to Noida, and what is that metro station next to Kalkaji Mandir?
Yes, yes.
And then there is new office, so they are spending a lot of money, so they need to recover that expenditure. Okay. One question: is the course credit considered by university as credit workload for faculty?
Pardon?
Is the course credit considered by the university as credit workload for faculty? Maybe Dr. Puri, you can explain, but as I understand that, I think these credits, they will be counted toward the workload of the faculty. Perhaps the answer is yes.
All right, sir. Yeah, I just wanted to know whether, you will consider this as my workload.
Yes, it will be considered as the workload.
And that will be equivalent like 4 credits, no? If I offer a 4 credit course.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
So the questions which were in the chat, you have already replied. So friends, if there are further questions, anything you would like to, if there is any emolument for the faculty. Okay, here is the situation that emolument, you can think of it in terms of that once the course has been approved by NC, which is National Coordinator, they give, I think for 4 credit course or what, it is 13 lakh something,
Yes, sir.
which has payment of various heads.
Yes.
So there is no salary kind of thing, anything, because we are already, the course coordinator can be only that person, which is a employee of the institution.
True.
That way. So the salary part is covered, but the financial assistance or something is there. Ashish, do you have that breakup with you readily available? If you can.
Not readily available, but I'll brief you in detail. Basically, for course production, 13.5 lakh is a total amount for 4 credit course. Out of 13.5 lakhs, 4.5 lakh is for course honorarium of the course subject matter expert as well as the reviewers, and remaining part around 9 lakhs is for production stage. So that 4.5 goes for the honorarium of the subject matter expert, reviewers as well as the course coordinators. So those honorarium part is there. I think in CE somewhere I'll share the financial norms with you also.
Yeah, they are available, means once they
Yeah,
said it.
they are available. They are available.
So, okay, it looks like our clarifications for today are over. Let's just wait for 1 more minute if there is any question. Otherwise, we will conclude. No? Okay. So, Ashish, thank you so much. And my thanks to the Vice Chancellor, IGNOU also for, there are really some wonderful work is being done there. And it is good to listen to your experiences. And I hope that, I know that you will stay with us. We can call you anytime.
Thanks, sir. Bilkul. You can call anytime.
Okay. And our friend Nageshwarji has left, but I thank him. Yes, Ashish, and he will send us this presentation.
Sure, sure.
Along with this, the template pro forma.
Template I'll share.
We will share it with this. So thank you so much, Ashish. Okay, have a nice day ahead.
Thank you.
And I see that you are in the office now, so you continue with that. And bye-bye. And thank you, friends. Thanks for all. And if there are anything, then certainly you can email your questions to me, and I will